Originally from East Harlem, born and raised in East Harlem. My dad's black and Puerto Rican. My mom's black American and Irish.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Native American. And my mom grew up in the South Bronx. So when my parents separated, I moved to the South Bronx.
Yeah.
This is in 90. This is in 1990 to 1997.
Gotcha. Come on. And what part of Brooklyn is this?
This is Prospect Lefferts Gardens. This is the bougie ass version of that name is just, you can hear the gentrification in it. But it's literally Flatbush. It's Flatbush. This is Little Caribbean, that's what they call it. I like it because it's got a bit of everything. I think it's the most peaceful neighborhood I've ever lived in. And the love out here in Brooklyn is very genuine. I feel my most at home in New York. I don't think I found a home in New York until I came to Brooklyn.
Yeah. Have you lived other places besides New York?
Yeah. I went to college in Boston, went to Berklee College of Music. I was 17 years old when I first lived outside of the home. From 17 to 21, I was in Boston, the Back Bay area. Yeah, Berklee College of Music is one of the best modern conservatories in a sense, but it's not a conservatory in the country. You know, best one is Juilliard, but it's not modern, it's more traditional. And then when we talk about modern, like all types of music disciplines are, and all types of instruments are accepted there. But you gotta be good. You can't just go
But what
to
I'm
Berklee.
saying is you had a scholarship or you went
I didn't
under
get a
the
scholarship.
assumption, I mean, always, what I'm saying is if I'm going to a music school in a sense, right?
Right.
I'm going to be, I would assume that you're going to either play an instrument
Yeah.
or to sing.
So I went to sing.
Okay.
I went for singing. But I was smart. I was like, yo, I really, really want to go for business.
Yeah.
And I'm so creative that just going to it, get like a...
Yeah. Is that something you think your mom or like an elder was
No.
kind of like instilled in you? Like, oh, this is real nice. That you need to be able to make money from your passion, or like.
Yeah, I mean, like, I come from laborers, right?
Yeah,
So
I should look that way. Yeah.
there's no way I'm going to go... I'm the only creative person in my family. There's no way I'm about to go to a school just for passion.
Going back to school. So how far are you removed from school life? College life?
Technically, about almost 4 years. Last commitment to school I made was in 2016. Graduated in 2019. I was in a film program called the Feirstein Graduate School of Cinema through Brooklyn College.
So you have 2 degrees?
I have 2 degrees, yes.
Wow.
And I'm chill about it because it doesn't matter if you have 2 degrees or not. You can't make something happen, then what the fuck is a degree? Like, why are you talking about a degree, right?
Yeah.
So I keep it really, really chill. But I have a master's of fine arts in producing cinema.
And wait, so also, so you're a business-minded person because I think in film, I mean, your music degree is also in business, like in management or?
So my music degree is music business and management. That's back when the industry was like viable. Like you can actually create a business through music and sell a product. And I graduated.
Don't you think it's that way now? I mean, there's a lot of.
I think it's rejuvenated for sure. And there's a lot of money in music, but there's more money in film.
Are they more hands-on than more?
Very hands-on. Feirstein's probably like the.
So day one is like what? Tell me what happens.
Day one is. You're in like this production 101 class, which is teaching you how to direct, how to write, how to produce, how to edit. You have other classes. Your first semester is not really putting you into your discipline. Like there's different disciplines in that school. So you have, whereas that was different for Feirstein because other schools really didn't have like the same structure. Feirstein had like director track, producer track, editor track. So you're not in that track the first semester. Second semester.
Okay.
You're learning everything the first semester. And you're learning about narrative structure, how to create a screenplay. You're learning about editing. You're learning about film theory, film history, that type of pedagogy you're picking up. depending on wherever you went. So
Right,
I'm
because
like,
they're coming in like you don't know nothing about film.
yeah, I was one of those people who didn't know anything about film. I just
Right.
knew how to hustle and
Yeah.
like make a video.
And so they're like, okay, it's kind of like, we're gonna prep you guys. This is like prereqs in a sense.
Yeah, prerequisites. But there was a bunch of people that went there with me in my cohort that knew this shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I felt
yeah.
really dumb.
Yeah,
I didn't know who
there's a
Agnes
lot
Varda or
of
anything
people
was.
that go to that school even after like going to some other like, or having years of like just hands-on experience. Maybe not like proper like degree,
Yeah.
you know, or proper film schools, but they'll have like, maybe they've been working out in the field as like whatever, you know.
Yeah. And that,
One-man band type guys.
exactly. But I think I was a little bit ballsy,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit too much, to the point where I was a little cocky.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a composer in my ancillary who was composing for, he was composing for advertising and
Yeah,
film.
so you kind of felt like,
I knew my shit.
yeah, or you were at least understanding like, because there's people, again, there's people that go into those schools that are shooting like weddings or shooting like birthday parties or
Right.
shooting like very low, like your friend's low budget short film,
Or
right?
a music video that
A
cost you
music
$200 to
video.
make.
Exactly, but you kind of like, you have somebody in your corner that's really like working on bigger budgets, and you're kind of like, maybe you're seeing it and like, I can do that.
Right. That's where
Right?
my
Like,
mind was.
Yeah.
So that was 2016 through 2019. And I learned glad I went to film school because it taught me the business of school, it taught me the politics of film making, it taught me just a bunch of things that I didn't know. I got a verse of like diversity
Right.
in cinema and
But
loved it.
so you got a degree in producing, you said, from
Yeah.
that school. So you did the
Masters of Fine
producing
Art.
track.
Yeah, I did the producing track, which is a combination of all of them, actually.
Gotcha. And so now let's say, what is a producer?
I think it's really cool to hire a producer depending on what your needs are, and I think people don't really know what a producer does. There are different types of producers. A producer really does, it's a support system in a sense. But you have creative producers, you have line producers, you have producers who will help you really organize what part of the film or video project you need. And I learned kind of all of them.
Right.
And I think a producer is helpful for a director to aid them in their ideas and to give them kind of like a reality check. Like, we have this budget, you have these ideas, this is what you want, how can we make this happen the way you want it? And they were kind of like the mom and dad in a sense, where it's like, I know you want this toy, but we can't afford this toy.
But how do you think, what's the difference between like a producer coming out of school to a producer that maybe has a couple years in the business?
It's the experience.
But
like,
what kind of experience?
the on-field experience that books don't teach you. There's things that producers end up learning on their own. Most of your job is putting out fires. You can prepare and as much as you want, but sometimes the day of a shoot, like, things just happen. And a really good producer is someone who can make sure the day goes by, that their director makes their day without the director knowing there's a fucking problem. I'm good at that. We solve the problem before the problem happens.
Right. But I mean, on like mid-level budgets, let's say $5,000 to like $20,000, let's say, right? Is that realistic to say like there's going to be a producer, a somewhat experienced producer on set for those types of jobs, or is it like you're working remotely and still kind of like putting out fires?
You can never work. I mean, there is a remote producer, but there has to be a producer on set at all times. And when I was younger, I was like, you don't need me. You have production artists. They can do the fucking work that I don't want to do. And that was where I got wrong. Like, no, a good producer is there no matter what.
Right.
You have to man your shit.
Yeah. Now you again, because I don't have much experience with having producers on set. Is it? Are you charging for that day?
Yeah, you are charging for that day.
So like a day rate or like
I'm charging a day rate.
Okay.
So producer is on pre-production, production, and post. A good producer is going to be the entire time. You're going to have a post-production producer. If you don't hire a post-production producer, which is the person who is managing the process of the editing time, and editing could take however long the budget allots for you. But you need to be able to produce all of that in the event that someone else can't be hired for it. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to hire a unit production manager to be your producer on set. But if you're really about your shit, you want to make sure everything's going well. Like, you're kind of like the executive producer over the producers. If you don't think of it in like an executive producer as a financier, yes. But if you're like a producer who's doing like the day-to-day work, you're going to be there with the unit production manager. Not step on their toes, because they have to do that stuff. But you're going to be like the project manager just in the event that something goes off.
Gotcha.
You need to be there on set.
And you love that. That's what you want to do now.
So, no. That's not what I want to do. I want to be able to be the creative producer and creative control over my work. I'm a writer, so I'd like to be able to create a series for TV or create a short film or a feature film. Short films, feature films, documentaries. I'm producing documentaries and shorts right now. I like shorter form content because it's digestible. I can handle it. I'm not really quite ready for a feature because I'm not ready to give up a year a film has a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. I'm not ready to give up 5 years of my life for one project. So that's why I don't dedicate to a feature. But I am ready to dedicate. Is
that something you heard, or that's something you believe?
That's something I've heard, something I believe, and something that I just know. Like, when you take on a project like that, you really got to be dedicated. You got to be committed. It's like a relationship.
But as a director or as a producer?
As a producer.
As a producer.
If you're really good at your project and you do see the life of that.
Are producers like...
We're also pitching this project too. After that.
But are you pitching multiple jobs? Multiple projects? Because I would assume like...
Multiple, yes.
Like a director, writer probably like has been working on one story for 5 years.
Right, but you're gonna... It's like dating. Like, it's funny, like a producer's like dating multiple people at the same time.
Gotcha. So you're a producer... So then you're dedicating, how are you dedicating 7 years to just one person?
Well, you are, because this lifespan
Meaning
of
not
this
one
film,
person, I mean, how many people are you dating, let's say, in that 7 years or 5 years?
Multiple people.
Okay.
I could be dating multiple people at the same time, they all pop, or one pops and the others don't.
Right.
It just is what a producer does. You gotta eat. You gotta eat. And so this one project is probably gonna take us a couple of years just to get it packaged, just to get us to get the green light, just to get us to get on air. But it took me 3 years just to get that fucking meeting. And I had to go through festival runs in America and other territories. And now we're talking about like placement. And so it's just a longer term investment.
Yeah.
But I'm getting paid every time I do it. And sometimes I might not get paid. It just depends on like project, the budget, who's sponsoring it, who's the financier of it.